Hey guys, welcome back to Pikmin 3. In the last day, we were in tutorial land and we crash landed on this planet and we got separated from our friends, and in this day, we're gonna go and try to see where our friend Brittany is located.
As soon as exploration started typing in, I thought it was going to say explosion 4.
Explosion 4. You just see this Drake barreling towards the planet again. So this is actually our new map selection screen. You're going to be seeing parts of the different continents when a new area is unlocked. And also, it's pretty easy to tell that yes, the Pikmin planet is Earth. It's Earth millions of years from now, there isn't a single human. A neat thing you can do now is also check in. Doing that, you get an extra piece of dialogue from either Alf or the other characters. And depending on how many you have and how far ahead you are, they'll talk about things that are currently relevant to the days. We'll be checking in with them every day before we land. And now that we are at the Garden of Hope, we're gonna get to the real meat of what Pikmin is actually like.
Not sure if I'm disappointed about this or not, but Pikmin 3's overworld has no visual similarities to the first game, because they did that a lot in Pikmin 2. In this, the maps are all original.
Yeah, I think there's one area that's basically a callback to Pikmin 1, but I think we'll be seeing that one later. So, when you land on the planet, you go under the onion right here, and you are able to draw out and return Pikmin by standing directly under it. Because it's the third game, and because we're in that age of Nintendo constantly telling you stuff, I feel like it's appropriate, especially if you haven't played Pikmin. Because, people can't really even find a genre to define it by. It's like real-time strategy, but literal. So, up the top, we have the day counter. On the right, we have the day that we're currently on. The bottom is the number of juice jugs we have. And at the top right there, we have that sun marker. That is the amount of time you have for the day. When the sun gets to about the halfway mark, you'll hear a ringing. And it sounds a lot like a school bell, Japanese one. And by the time it gets to near the end of the day, you'll be warned by the game that, hey, it's almost sundown. By that point, it's going to be nightfall. So when it's nightfall, you need to gather your Pikmin and bring them towards you. If not, they're going to die overnight. Your Pikmin are very capable of doing a lot of things, but unfortunately they are very expendable, and a lot of the creatures you're going to encounter are just assholes.
Are there a lot of creatures that leave the usual area they occupy?
For the most part, no. But I think it really depends on the area. We're also going to be finding a lot of these data files. Pikminology is going to basically give you a quick little rundown of what attributes the Pikmin have. Later on, we're going to see other things, like we saw one that had like a graphical depiction of Alf standing under the onion. So there's a lot of different data files, and I'm going to be collecting as many as I can see, because I genuinely think the artwork is pretty cute. If you notice also, behind us there was a wall with glass on it. We can't break that right now. A cool advantage to having the lock on, this is done automatically for you, is that it tells you the name of the monsters you're locking onto. So here we have our standard classic Bulborb. This used to be kind of a pain in the ass, but now that you can just lock on and sneak and just use the Pikmin charge, it's no longer an issue.
His health just melts.
Yep, they just die. Of course, you have to be very careful of how and which angle you set your charge to. Because like I said, a lot of enemies are assholes. A lot of them will eat your Pikmin or just crush them because they think it's fun. So this is me being an idiot because I decided to make the Bulborb be carried first. So the two Pikmin behind them are actually chugging and lagging. And I don't bother to help them, I just kind of sat there. I could fix it, but it's kind of funny. See how they kind of sped up just there?
Something worth noting, The single pellet, when that's fed to the onion, that gives you 2 Pikmin. That's because everything that gets fed to the onion needs to be a plural, it can't be a single, because if a different colored Pikmin were to take it to the onion, that would count toward theirs, but because it's red, it counts towards the red Pikmin and therefore gives them more. But most colored pellets have to correlate to the Pikmin that carries it to get the most seeds out of it, otherwise you get less.
Mm-hmm. So, we also found Brittany collapsed here, but she seems to be doing fine. She managed to survive in the nighttime. I love that line. That meant that even though all these horrible things were appearing in the nighttime, she was just snoring through the whole thing.
Yeah, they're trying to get her to shut her up.
But they couldn't figure out that whole glass situation.
Ma'am, now we can't sleep!
Shut up. So our goal is gonna have to be to get Brittany— Wait, there's a fruit here!
Our goal is gonna have to be food!
I think Brittany can wait.
Who needs the pink when we've got red?
I mean, red's like dark pink, right? So, that's gonna be our main goal for the game. To get, like, a neutral ending, you just need, like, some of the fruits. Basically, you just need to kind of clear the game. But like I said, we're gonna be going for all of the fruits. And going in these caves, which is kind of a new feature for Pikmin 3, you have the field, which is where we were at, and then you have like these little intersections. Now they're kind of like divided, so like you'll be going into the field, you walk into a cave, you end up in like a slightly different part of the map. That was not a hard fight at all, but we're introduced to the rock Pikmin. If you guys remember in Pikmin 2, or if you knew how broken the purples were, you're probably going to be like me wondering, boy, this is cool, when do the purple Pikmin show up? You don't get purple Pikmin, instead you get rock Pikmin. The rock Pikmin are really neat because they actually have an attribute that the purples can't have. I know, shocker. But they can actually shatter glass and crystal. And their onion is gray. They're also, when you throw them on top of enemies, they also do a neat amount of damage, but they do not do the same amount of damage that a purple did.
They don't fight so much as throw themselves at enemies.
Yeah, they basically just like bonk off of each other. So that being said, because I'm extremely biased, I still like the purple a little more. That being said, I do like the rock Pikmin, I think they're cool.
Whoa, hello.
I'm just gonna let them grab that because I didn't have to do anything.
They're a nice change-up to how you play the game. It's a little too bad there aren't any purples or whites. There's an additional different Pikmin that we get later.
Yeah.
But both of them are completely different from how you would have played them in 1 or 2.
Yeah. Purple and white Pikmin are in this game, but they're in the multiplayer, which I'll be showing off at the end. Funnily enough, the purple Pikmin did get nerfed, though. They aren't as crazy as they were in 2. Their damage output got subtracted a little. So, now that we brought that fruit over to the SS Drake, it's going to alert us on the copad here, and here's me spinning the strawberry. And it also keeps the tradition of naming things kind of weird. But I feel like for the most part, for the fruits, they're close enough. I also think it's cute that they called it Pikmin U because this is on the Wii U. So I imagine if they ever port this game to the Switch, it would be Pikmin Switch or something. Vitamin Switch. We're going to be collecting a lot of these fruits, and one of the most satisfying things to me is when you see the scanning of the fruits and when they get juiced. Because the idea is that we're going to be taking the seeds off these big fruits and using that to cultivate the soil in Planet Copide. So, that being said, we now have an extra day, because we picked up that, and now I'm going to spend some time building up our rock Pikmin. Like I said, the rock Pikmin are pretty cool, and they're also pretty useful. I do like the change. I'm always up for like new Pikmin types. The top 3 are never going to change no matter what. Red, yellow, and blue will be present in every Pikmin game until the end of time, I'm assuming.
Primary colors.
And I do like these little rock Pikmin. We'll be getting more use out of them very, very soon.
Is it like in Pikmin 2 where you could reasonably have 20 or 30 of them max the whole game, that'll suit you?
Sort of. I like farming a little more, but for the most part, yeah. Like, you don't need like a crazy amount. Because their main goal is basically to break these walls and like things that the other Pikmin just can't break. Once they break it, then it's available for all the other Pikmin to do whatever. Here I'm showing a way to just break the glass. I do a much better and cooler way to do it in the next day. So here we get a little description. They don't cause like a daze effect like the purples did, but they still do a nice bit of damage. So now we're going to try to get Brittany free. There we go. I didn't know what the hell she was gonna say there. It cut off, but here's Brittany.
Yeah, I got glass in my foot.
We have glasses on our face. Well, you have glasses on top of the help. Never mind. So, as I said before, Brittany is the ship's botanist. She's on board because she's the one who's gonna let us know if we can actually consume fruits, or like what we can actually eat or not. The SS Drake kind of already did it for us, like, oh yeah, safe for consumption, but she basically gets to make the final call on whether or not it's actually edible.
Oh yeah, we can eat that brick.
Yeah, like, throw me some reds, I got it. So a cool thing you can do with Pikmin 3 is you can throw leaders now, so if you really hated the president in the last game, you could just get rid of him. Switching leaders is also the mechanic that returns. And now that we have 2 leaders, now we can get into the actual bread and butter, at least for me, about Pikmin. To me, the way I like to play Pikmin is I like to do as much as I possibly can per day. And we also get a neat little artwork of our original trio, Olimar, Louis, and the President. So is it made clear yet that Olimar left those data files, or...?
I don't know, maybe he was referring to a Lewis.
Perhaps. We're gonna kill these bugs right here, which actually can be annoying. Their moves were actually just gonna be constantly firing crystals at us, but since I already broke them with the rock Pikmin, they didn't get a chance to show that off, but I'm okay with that. I also dropped the lemon behind, because I want to build this bridge. That's also a neat little tidbit. Too bad I already killed the bulb orb on the other side of the map, and there aren't any more bulb orbs, so...
And you did not go for its eyes.
Yeah, but that is a neat tip. So, I actually want to go and build the bridge first. The thing, like I said in the last day, the Pikmin think in binary. So, when you give them a fruit, or they give them an item, and they're currently in an area where they can't just like easily get back to the ship, they're gonna find a way to try to get back to the ship. If there is a longer path for them to get there, they're gonna walk the entire way around. And that could be a good thing if you've already cleared a path for them, or if you already know what you're doing and everything's fine. But for the most part, sometimes the Pikmin, depending on certain scenarios, they can be stupid enough to just walk directly into like enemy fire. Because again, they don't know any better. So that's why I had them not carry the lemon just yet, and that's why I had them build the bridge first, so that way they wouldn't have to work as hard.
Yeah, I was going to ask if the bridge was the faster path.
Absolutely, because our ship is right here. Everything that isn't a pellet or a monster, it goes right into the SS Drake. So, fruits. So now that we have our rock Pikmin, we can finally clear our glass gate over here. And as you can see, we're nearly at the halfway mark. So right now the goal so far has been, hey, we got these fruits, we got a couple of fruits, but the radar is currently going to pick up a signal. On the gamepad, of course.
Can't you hear it?
Brittany naturally thinks it could possibly be food. So we're going to go check that out. But not before we grab this data file real quick. So here's basically why I like using the gamepad, despite my grievances with it. The Go Here option is really cool, because basically you can divide, like, let's say for example, I want Alf to go to one side where there was some fruit with some Pikmin, but at the same time I want to go elsewhere with Brittany, and I want to, like, solve a bridge puzzle. Using the Go Here option, I can automatically make Alf go where I went previously. So this doesn't look smart, but
You know, rocks, highly flammable.
they still have the stems up top. So that didn't look very smart, but thankfully you can just whistle them away. I'll say this, the Pikmin are a little more durable than they were in the previous games. That was a colossal mistake. I was trying to use Pikmin Charge, but I accidentally dispersed my team. So what I was saying was, so I could use the Go Here feature, and I could make Alf and a group of Pikmin automatically walk to one side, while me with Brittany start on the bridge. It's really cool, and it's really neat, because you don't have to actually, like, because they just won't sit there. The leaders will act similar to Pikmin, where they'll just sit there without any directions or orders given, but with Go Here, you're able to actually just make them automatically do something, which I think is pretty cool. Very welcome.
Yeah, the trade-off is they move slower than if you were controlling them normally, but it's not a massive trade-off because it's pure benefit being able to move characters you're not currently using.
Yeah. Another plus is that the Pikmin will, like, stick closer to the character that's currently in Go Here mode. So, like, they won't get separated. They'll just stick with Alf or Brittany. So we're gonna have to get used to throwing our leaders around in order to do things like cross gaps. And I hope you guys are ready for I really like bridge puzzles, because they're everywhere in this game. You might be thinking, hey, you know, you were a little reckless there with the blowhogs. Do Pikmin have, like, HP? Not really. The best way I could describe it, it's like basically, if they're about to die or get devoured and you kill the creature, then their health, in quotes, resets. But in certain scenarios, depending on how long you take to do something, then I guess they do. For the most part, I don't think so. Like, if they're on fire and if I just sit there and let them burn, I think it takes about 10 seconds or so for them to fully die. And if they start dying, you can't just whistle at them, they're just gonna die.
It usually won't take that long, though.
Yeah, like, I don't think I've ever really had a Pikmin die to fire. At least in this game. You also saw that there was an electric fence. Naturally, none of our Pikmin can currently clear electric fences, but they can absolutely resist electricity better in this game. In this game, they'll get knocked back and stunned. In 2, they just straight up died. Like, there was nothing you could do. Immediate death on contact. Here, they'll get stunned and they'll just kind of, like, have little mini seizures on the floor.
Yeah, at least you can recover from it this time.
Yeah. So, we picked up a data file here, which is actually from Captain Olimar. This is a really somber message from him, to be honest.
Send word to my son. Only my son. Not my wife or daughter.
Send it to my son, because I want to scare him the most.
He'll know what to do with it.
We got a bit of Kopite commentary on Hokatatians just there. Apparently, Hokatatians are really, really treasure-heavy and hungry. Which I think is more an assumption on their part. Because not really.
Well, I mean,
at least the president, I can say yes, absolutely. that's gonna be our boss fight.
You'll notice the graphical quality and the design of the creatures is very good.
Yeah, especially the graphics of the field. So, I was gonna say I hope you came here with rock Pikmin. I don't know why you wouldn't be here with rock Pikmin, but, the armored crawdad here, his weakness is going to be under its shell. This is kind of a simple fight, but it can very easily go wrong. You just use the rock Pikmin to break its armor. I always go for the tail because it's the easiest. And then you just have them charge when you're close. The reason why it can be a problem is because the way the crawdad runs around the arena is completely random and RNG. So sometimes you'll want to attack it, and then it'll, like, if you send a charge, it'll, like, be a little bitch and actually, like, move a little bit ahead, and your charge will stop. But thankfully, the crawdad was nice enough to give me an easy fight.
Yay!
Yay! Murder! So the reason why Brittany keeps talking is because she's currently the character I'm leading with. You do actually get different dialogue if you were, like, playing with Alf or Charlie. I won't be showing that because it's superfluous, but it's pretty neat that they took that into consideration. They'll basically say the main points that the other characters would, but they'll just have their own, like, viewpoint on it, which I think is kind of cool. If anything, it gives you incentive to try to beat boss fights and, like, clear stuff with the other captains, if you haven't done that yet. So, we're gonna take this old 80s cell phone, and what I'm assuming is, I'm pretty sure is a dragon fruit. We're gonna just take that back to our ship. I could have taken the armored crawdad with me, because it's actually good. Boss characters give you a lot of Pikmin if you drag them back to your ship, the Onion. But, they also give you a little tip hidden in the back, which I don't know if you'll be able to get during the chaos of the fight.
Yeah, it feels like a weird place to put that.
Yeah. I decided not to take the boss creature with me. I probably should have showed it off, but the reason why I didn't take it with me is because I just personally don't need it. But I absolutely recommend to take boss corpses when you can. But me personally, since I always prioritize the fruits over anything, I just decide to do what costs me the less amount of time. So if you do have the time to get the corpses and the fruit and the cell phone, then by all means go ahead. I absolutely had time to get the crawdad, but I just decided not to.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they would just be too far to get to the ship.
Here's probably the most stress-inducing part of Pikmin 3, or any Pikmin game for me, when the day counter is telling you to hurry up. The neat thing this time is that in Pikmin 3, they give you a counter of how many Pikmin are on the field that are currently away from you. See how it's currently at 0? That's because the Pikmin are currently transitioning from one part of the map to the other. Once they reappear, we'll be seeing them again. You also saw that it made this wide open circle. Basically, if your Pikmin are here, they're going to be safe if you leave them behind when you're doing something else. Also, Alf and another leader is able to help you during pluck. Because I know the 50 Pikmin are the ones carrying the cell phone and the fruit, I'm not all that worried. But what I am kind of like meandering around about and stressing is if I'm hoping that they make it in time.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, the number jumped up to 71 when I dispersed the ones I had on me.
If you're missing 51, then you would have reason to be concerned.
Yeah. The neat thing about the Copad is that it tells you, like, where a certain Pikmin, like, that you are not nearby or close to. It'll represent with the color, the dot representing the color of that Pikmin. In this case, I was just like, yeah, I'm fine. We're fine. Like, once I knew that the counter didn't start, and once I saw the number decrease, like, I knew that I made everything in time. I probably also had time to get that crawdad.
Or even, like, the blowhogs. Could have picked up one of those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The seeds that are made from those depend on the majority of the Pikmin carrying it. So, like, if it was majority rock, then you would get rock seeds.
Mm-hmm. So this this old-style cell phone as a data glutton, which I feel like it's a fair name for it.
Certainly a battery glutton.
Yeah, I'm spinning it around just to see if we can get all the nice angles they decided to detail it with.
See if you can fling out the batteries.
Yeah. So the cool thing is, like, even though we took a cell phone, like, because of how dumb that is, because Alf is an engineer, like, dumb in the sense of what are they going to do with it? Because Alf is an engineer, he's actually going to use the receiver to extend the range of the SS Drake. Which is actually cool, because again, it gives Alf actual significance and sets him apart from Olimar.
That is pretty clever. And since they're so tiny, it's probably a massive receiver, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I basically did everything I wanted to do. Everything that I basically can do, getting all those fruits. Basically, these 3 are the max you can get during day 2. You have no way to access the other areas right now. And now that we have our cell phone, we're going to see what the signal actually enables us to let us do. That one red Pikmin got stuck. I didn't notice that when I recorded. So at the end of the day, your Pikmin will always run back into the onion by themselves. The rock Pikmin, because their onion is elsewhere, they're going to have to run back there, but because they were with your leader, they're safe. They're just not on screen right now because their onion is over there.
But that's not going to be a problem now.
Yeah. Remember how I said that the onions in this game look a little different?
They've evolved.
Yeah. In Pikmin 3, the onions actually fuse into one big onion. So now you don't have to go to every individual onion to get what you want. Now you can just go to one singular onion and get all the Pikmin you need from whatever color you like.
I like the little rusty squeaking as you turn it.
Yeah. So this is the coolest and most satisfying part of the day for me.
Yeah.
It feels good, like when you see the juice like fill up, you're like, yeah, I did that. For the first couple days, I'm going to be juicing them manually, but as you can see on the bottom right, it says press plus to skip. It speeds up the process, but because this is our first time watching it, I just want to show like how much juice you can make depending on the size.
I would not want to drink straight lemon juice.
Yeah. Maybe the dragon fruit actually makes it taste better.
This screen also lags like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the juice is like a physics object and that's just working it really hard.
Maybe. There's actually one area that, we'll see it, but it's something that I only encountered during this Let's Play, and I'm glad that I got footage of it, because I've never seen it ever in my life. Also a neat little cute thing is you can see the different colors depending on the fruits you brought in.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we also get our graph that tells us what we gathered, how many Pikmin are around, how many fruits we collected, who's dead. So far, we're perfect. For the most part. And the neat thing is, also, in this game, all of the characters actually make a data log. So it's not just stuck with Alf. Both Brittany and Charlie have their own thoughts.
Because they're also characters.
Yeah, they actually are pretty cool characters.
I mean, Louie was funny, but only eventually.
Yeah, Louie was funny, but like, it was more of a... You got more of a sense of the character by his actions, which for the most part is cool, but here, like, the characters actually talk to one another. Where for the most part, the talking was done by the ship in 2. And in Pikmin 1, you got internal dialogue from Olimar. So yeah, that was our day 2. We got a lot of work done, at least as much as we could. Day 3 is going to be a little interesting, because I learned a couple of things during my takes, and we'll be seeing what exactly that entails.
We're still not quite out of the tutorial woods yet.
Yeah, I like to think this was a good little, like a good teaser of what's to come. Huge enemies, things you have to clear, getting a good sense of, like, building up your Pikmin army, dividing work, seeing how much you can get done. Because, believe it or not, it actually is really hard to get all 3 fruits and the cell phone in one day, because of how efficient you have to be.
I do like how, if you played the first game, you were pretty much fully equipped to play the second game. With Pikmin 3, it's a good bedrock, but there's so much different stuff for you to learn that feels very distinct from the first two.
Yeah, I agree. We'll be seeing more of that as the Let's Play continues, because there are later things I really like about Pikmin 3, and there are some things that make me go, not bad, but I like this a little better in the last game. I will say, though, Pikmin 3 is absolutely worth the wait and how many years it took for it to come out.
But is this Let's Play worth the wait? You decide!
Please like it. It took years. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in day 3.